Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys are having a blessed week. I want to go over these three things with you guys. Thank you guys for taking the time to stopping by and watching this video. So, for one, we're going to do a midweek overview. The other two things you guys will see when we get to it, they're very important and they contribute to you being successful. One thing that I want to add is that I moved my monitor. So instead of over there on that wall, moved it to here. So that's why you see a bookshelf in the back. I was thinking to kind of get LED, like an LED sign, like the background, but maybe in the future. I'm not really too sure. I think the bookshelf for now is fine. Um, but yeah, hope you guys like that. Next, what I want to do is just do a weekly recap of how things are looking. Things are actually looking good. Um, I did 50%. I made 50% on my live account, my live trading account since last week. Last week, my account's equity was at, on the live account was at 255. Now it's at three. Let me check. I am actively in a gold trade right now. It's at around 380. So it went from 255 to 380, which is about a 55% increase. And the prop firm account, I made almost 2000. It was over 2000 and then I lost about 400. So that is, I'll show you guys that in a second. What I don't like about these prop firm and not trying to talk negative or anything, but like what's going wrong, the only complaint that I have is after I take a trade, whether it's a good trade or a bad trade, losing trade or a winning trade, and these websites that I use to track my trades, they're they're like they stall for like 24 to 48 hours. They won't show you what you made for Monday or Tuesday or what you lost for Monday or Tuesday until maybe 24 to 48 hours. And that's just my experience from this week. So maybe there's something that's being changed. I'm not really too sure, but hopefully they resolve that issue. Um, yeah, so we'll start looking at my progress and then we'll get into anything else. Or the two other things that I want to talk to you guys about. So share my screen. All right. So this is the equity. As you guys can actually, what I can do is pull up. Did I go over? Let me see if I went over. Yeah. Okay. I'm checking to see what the equity was like last week. Checking last week's video. All right. So here's last week's video. Looking for the equity. All right. So I was at 47,848 last week. So 47,000. This is 49,391. So up almost 2,000 this week. And this is an app. What's this app called? It's like this percentage app. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like different ways to calculate the difference between how much you made and whatnot. It's called a percentage calculator. It's like a light blue app. I think it's helpful. So what was that again? 40. Okay. What is From value 49,000. I'm gonna do 49,391. From value 47,848. That's a 3.2% increase on this account. And obviously, once I get funded, and I've been using this account for a good 30 days. It's been a little around 30 days that I've been working this account, but over the 30 days, I've been getting ex like my progress has gone from down here to up here. Completely did a complete 180 when it comes to like the discipline, like waiting for setups to happen so that I can get in. I There's going to be other stuff that I want to address within the three things that I want to mention. Right now, we're on one. So, being that we're on one, we're doing this weekly overview. And as you can see, since last week, I'm up 3.2% on this account. Also, um, these are not updated right here. As you can see, like this is not updating. I don't know why it's not updating. I'll give them another like 24 hours. I spoke to their support team. We'll see what happens. They said if it still doesn't update, then I guess contact them or something like that. But look, disclaimer, trading results on this dashboard are informative only. Real-time trade updates can be monitored through the trading platform. The above account statistics are automatically updated periodically when you have active trades. In case of any discrepancies, please be patient for the data to sync. If the issue still persists, please contact us through Help Center. So I'll give them another 24 hours before I contact them again because my trades are not showing up. They're not being updated throughout this calendar for some reason lately, because it wasn't really like that last week. But for some reason this week, it's like held back for some reason. So as you can see, I need profit target. Okay. I need 4,600. I'm up about $200 right now. That's why there's a difference since I'm in that gold trade. This is the trade that I'm in for gold. Um, I mean, I expect price to push down. I'm really not gonna touch it. If it hits my stop loss, then it hits my stop loss. I got in up here. I'm looking for price to take out this daily low right here. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at so far. On TradeZella, this is gonna be my live account. I'm gonna refresh it, and you can see net P&L has gone more into the positive. Before it was in the 900s. So since then, my account grew about $100 since last week. You can see, it doesn't show the 25th P&L for some reason. So this is what I'm saying. Like it's like delayed. It has like a 24 to 48 hour delay. Possibly. I'm not sure if it might even be longer than that. But if it exceeds over 48 hours, I was gonna say 24, but yeah, if it exceeds 48 hours, because it's already been about 24 hours, if it exceeds 48 hours, then I will start contacting their support teams. But as you can see, the losses, like I had a losing day in January of 285, but I've never since then never had a $200 losing day because I'm more mindful of my um risk to reward, which is called like a ratio. And mentally, once you journal, this is why I highly encourage journaling. Over the past 5 years that I've on and off traded for, I think it was 5 years that I've on and off traded for. I think journaling has been one of the most important things that I've ever decided to do. It's a choice to journal. So if it's a choice to journal, choices are hard for people to I want to say stomach. Like if you know that you should be doing something to help you and it'll help you and you choose not to do it, then that's on you. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, my profit days are starting to be more consistent. Um, but yeah, that is how things look right now. And as you can see, the losing days, they slowly start decreasing. That's what journaling does. Journaling allows you to understand where you're going wrong. And like I think, what should we do? Should we go on to the next topic? Because I want to go on to the next topic. Next topic, I wrote down here what I wanted to talk with you guys about, and I think what I think it takes to become successful. And this could be a general, um, this could be just for any industry. I think what it takes to become successful is just showing up and putting in the time. Because when you lack the skill to do something, you have to make up for it with time. So if you put in the right amount of time, a good amount of time, and just keep showing up, keep doing it over and over and over and over again, you're gonna build a callus for the weaknesses that you have. You're gonna learn from your weaknesses, and you're gonna pretty much just improve on whatever things you are like any obstacles that you have, you're going to continue to improve. And if you find that it's an obstacle that you cannot overcome, then what you'll find is you'll find that you can avoid that obstacle. If you see that obstacle continuously coming and for some reason you don't want to even engage in it, then you'll just step away. So if we were to put that into perspective in trading, if you see that there's a certain thing that happens in the market, for example, NFP, CPI, um, news days like that, if you keep on seeing that you're not getting the results you're looking for during those days, like a positive day when it comes to CPI days and NFP days, then just step away, occupy yourself, go for a walk or whatnot, read a book. Um, just avoid those types of situations if you find that it doesn't really work for you. And everything's not for you. So I think when you accept and subscribe to the fact that everything is not for you and graduate from wanting everything, I think that also helps. It allows you to be yourself. So I think being yourself is an important thing that is overlooked nowadays because everybody wants to be somebody, and people, for some reason, they don't really like look deep into the mirror within themselves and just show what you can like learn as much as you can and then put out the information. Like put out the information, allow people to review all of your work that you've done and show results, same way that I'm showing results. Show results so that you can back up whatever like back up whatever confusion there might be in whatever industry or subject topic that you've studied for months or years. So yeah, that is pretty much where we're at based on the weekly overview. And I mentioned investing time when you lack this skill or talent. Next, what I want to talk about is risk management. So risk management is important, obviously, in any industry that you're part of, but when it comes to trading, let's talk about risk management. So let's say you have a Risk management. All right, let's say you have how much? Say 500 or let's start with 1,000. Matter of fact, I haven't even started with 1,000. I've started with 500 before. Let's start with 500. Yeah. I've never just threw $1,000 into a trading account. It's always been $500 or less. The common amount that I'll throw into a trading account is on average between 150 and $200 because I understand that if I don't fully have a trading system, then just throwing thousands of dollars into a trading account to trade with it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be profitable. You might be profitable one day and then you can blow your account the next day. The amount that you put into a trading account does not determine how successful you're going to be. The skill set you have determines the level of success that you'll have. Um, $500 is your equity or balance on this trading account. Now, when it comes to risk management, let's say percent of 500. Okay. And then, all right, so risk management, I'm not even good at math. Like, I'm seriously not. So that's why I use this app. I got it for like $8, I think, maybe $6. So with risk management, if you're looking at a trade and you have a $500 account, what makes sense is not to go for trades that have a 1-to-1. I would not trade a 1-to-1 risk to reward um trade, meaning that you're risking $50 for $50. This is These are both incorrect. This is the same thing. This is the same thing. The same idea that I just gave you. 1-to-1 is equivalent to $50 that you're willing to risk for a profit of $50. This idea here just doesn't make sense. And this is what I've been doing for the last like 5 years that I've on and off traded for, and it's just been a broken system ever since I started it. And not even just that, like there's sometimes where I would do like maybe a 1-to-2. I mean, 1-to-2s are good, but which would be a $50 willing to risk maybe $50 for um $100, but it's just broken system. So I think with basic math and having the right set of discipline to stick to maybe a 1-to-2 if you think that works, if you could find a 1-to-2 setup or a 1-to-3 setup is even better so that it makes up for whatever losses you have. I think stuff like that, I could have just clicked back, but I decided to start clicking through this. So I think, and for that example, I'll give you guys that example. That's $500 that you start with. Let's say you get your first trade for the day. That's $50 that you put up for risk. And then now you're down $50 because let's say if you lost the first trade. So you lose the first trade, which means now you're at $450. Now, let's say another 1-to-1, you lose again, that's $400. So you lose another $50. But now you are up the following trade. Now you're up 450. So it's like it takes so long, the time, and we're trying to cut time here to get to where we want to be. So if you're trying to cut time to get to where you want to be, This process is a broken system where if you subscribe to this type of system with a one-to-one risk to reward, it just it's gonna take you so long, and you have to have a winning. Your winning rate has to be good. Like you have to have a good winning rate in order for this to even make more sense. Like I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense, but like personally, I just being honest with yourself, this is just a broken system. And once you understand this is a broken system with a one-to-one risk ratio, then you will, I think your trading will change. You'll see like a shift. Same way that mine is shifting, you'll see that your shifts if you're struggling. But yeah, I think this industry has a lot to do with your mental, your personality. Um, and let's say I'm gonna put an example out for 1 to 3. I'm gonna make this blue because this is logic. This is logical. Is it blue? Okay. 1 to 3. All right. And the more you can get out of the ratio, the better. Like 1 to 10, obviously that's way better than 1 to 3. But starting out, like for example, the least bare minimum that I would recommend is 1 to 3, so that it makes up for your losses. Okay, so 1 to 3, we're looking at risking $50. I was about to write that backwards. See, I don't even do math like that. And then I put 500. Risking 500 for 150. Oh, for 150. So now if you're risking $50 for 150, then this is like a no-brainer because now that let's say you profited your first, but you lose the second one, so you profited the first trade and you're up 150, you lose the second trade. So now if you lose the second trade, $50, now you're looking at okay, 550 or okay, 50 for 150. Yeah. See, like the math is just you don't even have to be a mathematician to be successful. I'll show you guys you don't have to be a mathematician to be successful. I show people better than I can tell you. That's a fact for me. One of my good habits. But if you lose this one, so you win this one, you're up 150. So account balance is now at 650. 650 off. So you're up 150. But then, so this is 650. I know it's like chicken scratch. Next one, you're down 50 if you do a 1 to 3. Now the balance is at 600 if you keep a 1 to 3 or more um ratio. So this is what has completely changed like most of my trading results is understanding this right here because it's a no-brainer. Like it's like a business model that works in most cases, as long as you have a successful product. If we're being like generic about this setup right here. So I think this was the most valuable thing that I can share for you guys in today's video. I mean, chart time is also important because if you don't understand, like if you're trying to, let's say if you're generic with it, if you're trying to sell a product in sales and you don't understand the product, you don't believe in the product, it's going to be hard for you to close the deal or hard for you to sell anything in that related to that product if you don't even understand it. Like people have to buy, you have to believe in it before others can believe in your product or even believe in you because that's just how business works. But if you guys have any questions or any, just comment below, like, comment, subscribe. I can do more of the basic types of videos on YouTube. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will catch up with you guys either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday with my weekly video that I normally post. And it's just gonna be results of how this week went. I will see you guys, and I always have trouble closing this out, so all right, y'all.